Hopefully that's working. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We're getting back to Hubbard, Nebraska today. Gonna do some soybean harvest and finish baling our straw from last stream. That was yesterday. If you did miss it, don't worry, you can check it out on my channel. It is under the live section. And that's where all of these are gonna be. May also try and cut these up as either time lapses or just straight up long form videos if I get time, which is probably unlikely. Alright, bear with me as this loads. It is a 16x map, which means it's 64 times the size of a normal map, so it takes a while for my little laptop to load everything. But there we go. We've got our Alice Chalmers 7080, Massey Ferguson sprayer, a couple cedar and planter things. I'm not going to go as in depth as last time, of course. Our Claas Lexion 620, Parker grain bin, or grain cart, sorry. Got a nice Mack truck. Old truck. Favorite, pulling bale trailer, and then I also have the John Deere 7810 on the Heston baler in the field. I'm going to go ahead and turn weeds off just for this first harvest because I wasn't able to apply any herbicide or anything. Make sure we got everything put away. And I'll put the Fent away. Might as well. There we go. Close up the shed, and then we're off up to the house. You didn't see the last stream. We harvested our wheat field right there, and then we also have another one off to our left, past the trees in the hill. Did pretty decent. Let's see what the grand total we got was. I think I forgot to check that. 115,000 liters of wheat from that harvest, which is pretty good. And then we're also going to see how much straw we ended up with once we get all those bales made. I'm going to... Normally, I would probably... Well, I don't know what I do normally. Sometimes I would want to bale the straw this month and then move forward for the soybean harvest next month. But I think what I'm going to do is leave the straw, and we'll just move forward, and while the harvester is able to be on a worker, I will leave the harvester on a worker and bale the straw. Let's go ahead and shut my door and my garage door. What am I doing? I have no idea where my bed is. I've never been in this house before. Let's go looking. Oh, wow. First try. 8 a.m. Yes, I didn't shut my door because I don't do that. And now it's time for the unnecessarily long night animation. Like, that's crazy, bro. Make that half the time and it would work just as well. Reason I left my door open is, of course, for ventilation and lighting. I want to be able to see the sunrise when I wake up. That's not the way I want to go. There's my garage. Isn't this a really neat house? I love houses you can walk around in. Nice hardwood floors. Magazines on the end table. Like, this looks lived in, dude. This is good. Me personally, I'd probably shut the laptop, but no judgments. Playing chess? That's dope. And I would also probably put my coffee mix all the way left in the corner. And I'd probably plug in the coffee maker too. coffee mug face down so it doesn't collect dust. Dude, this is awesome. I'd love to have a fridge and just a kitchen like this. One question though, it does say Wyoming. This is a Nebraska map. Why the heck does it say Wyoming? Kind of breaks my immersion a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. No worries. Get back on down to the farm. Oh shoot, I forgot. Nothing has happened. Soybeans are ready to harvest in October, not September. Let me just ensure. Yeah, we got our soybean field down here, 126, and then corn is on 110 and 118. And then also we've got some corn right there on 156 as well. So, shut the garage door, open the door here. Yeah, this is super nice house. It's a shame I've got like 30 frames walking around. I'm not sure how well that shows up. Hopefully next month it'll be ready. But we'll see. Okay, I gotta wait a little bit to see as it updates. It is a humongous map, so... Actually, I could probably just go there and see. I'm not sure if it's done updating or not. You can see this line all the way across all these fields because it updates from top to bottom. But I'm not sure if that was for last month even or not. Okay, I'll just turn on my really fast sprint and we'll run on over there. Nope, not quite done on the corn. And I guess I'll sprint up to see the soybeans. Don't tell the farmer I was sprinting at Mach 1, Mach 2, whatever, through his cornfield. This is a good way to see the fields, like the rolling hills on the fields. Here's a nice bone-dry creek bed. Okay, I think this is my field. It looks like almost everything is ready to harvest, so maybe it just hasn't quite updated down here yet? I don't know, man. Yeah, you can see the hills off in the distance there. I'm gonna see if, like, the map is updating or, like, the actual fields are updating, because that could make a difference. So we've got not ready to harvest corn. We've got ready to harvest soybeans. I'm not able to catch it. Okay, what field is this? 113. That's not gonna be ready either. Let's check it, see if I can get to 108 before it updates all the way. Okay, it looks like at least those cornfields aren't going to be ready to harvest yet. Let's just check out my cornfield since we're sprinting around everywhere. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have just done this before the stream. You live and learn. Alright, well, I tell you, if this bean field is ready to go, I'm going to feel silly. Oh, I just fell through the map. My bad. So my cornfields are, you know, I could just sleep another month to be sure, because these can be harvested all the way to January. Just a few more seconds, it'll be ready to go. Dude, my soybean field is ready to go. What? I was just there. Okay, so that answers the question. It doesn't update the map, it updates the actual, like, fields. It doesn't just update this little mini-map here. It updates the actual fields. And then as the fields update, it updates the map as well. Good to know. I've always wondered that. Alright, so now I can absolutely fly down my gravel driveway. You know, my name's Fast Farmer, we gotta live up to it. Then we'll get our header trailer attached to this old pickup, bring that out to the field we're going to, and then the combine can come with as well. Oh, whoa. That's why you don't go too crazy on gravel, guys. Right, here's the header. I need to figure out what I'm doing here. If I chase this gravel path all the way up here, it looks like it'll snake down and around. Hopefully that's open. It shows it as maybe a field's covering it, but I don't know. So I need to turn right here. And then I believe I'm going to want to turn left. No, turn right here as well. Not gonna lie, I don't know many farmers that would actually have stopped for that stop sign, but I did. Because, like, on a gravel road in the middle of nowhere, even on a video game, like, you don't need to stop for that. I don't know why, sometimes I stop. Sometimes I blow right through them, no matter what. I ought to throw the flashers on, I guess. Oh, wait, what? What is this horn? Is it La Cucaracha? It is. That's awesome. I love that. Oh, this thing struggles. Are we there yet? It's the fun of 16x maps. And also the pain of 16x maps. 16x just means it is 16 kilometers by 16 kilometers. Sorry, no freedom units. This game is made in Germany, so they use kilos and liters instead of bushels and everything. But a normal map is 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers, so 4 kilometers squared. A 16x map is 256 kilometers squared, if my live maths are good. Which basically means it's huge. Hard for the computer to run, takes forever to drive anywhere, and also means fields that look absolutely tiny on the map are actually quite large. I believe that would be 64 times the size of a normal map. Again, pardon my maths. How's everybody doing? It's been a good Tuesday. My Tuesday was pretty decent. I got to do a bunch of rework at work. As I mentioned yesterday, I work in the electrical field and I have a pretty good eye for detail, I'll say, so it is pretty nice to get to go back, fix other people's mistakes, because that means my supervisors have good faith in me that I do a good job. And it's satisfying to me. I really love fixing the issues. Somebody tried to do it, didn't really work, or doesn't look perfect, or to the standards of the company. So now it's my turn to give it a go and see if I can do better. It's good fun. Now things are getting dicey. We're going 45 on gravel with a header trailer. This map looks lived in though. It'd be cool to see, yeah, like neighboring farm equipment off in the fields working, but you know, take what you can get. We have a lake here? Oh, that's cool. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's really cool. I wonder how long it would take to drive around that. It looks pretty decent sized. So for today, we are just going to be harvesting the soybeans. We may not even finish with them because, again, the field doesn't look huge on the map, but it's pretty big, I think. So we'll see how that goes. Once we... again, I don't think we're getting finished with the soybeans. To be honest, it's actually a little later than I wanted to start. But we'll see what we can do. I don't know, maybe I'll be surprised by how quickly we get through it. What is that? Is that the plowed texture? Oh, does corn harvest have a different texture on this map? Those look like shucks. The ears. What's the word? What's the word, man? I cannot remember the word of what that is. I apologize. The leaves off, maybe leaves off the ear of the corn. I think that looks really repetitive, but it's different than the base game, so I'm not complaining too much. If it wasn't so, like, obviously repetitive, like if you zoom out, it looks super, like, cut, copy, and paste and stuff. If it wasn't like that, I think that would be a much better texture. But it's, yeah, it's just a little too monotonous for my liking. Okay, so on our right here is field 125. Neighboring field to my 126. And it looks pretty big. You can see the fields really well with the soybeans because it's so short. I need a bigger truck. I'm going to keep mentioning that because I'm going 12 miles an hour and I'm flat out. The harvester's going to take a while to get here too. and the tractor. Everything's going to take a while to get here except that semi-truck. I'm excited to drive that. I might do that next. I love the way the Jake brake sounds. Okay, so this is our field then, right here. I'm going to drop this header right there. Owned by you. Yield bonus 53% because it's not fertilized at all. Get this beast up there. We'll listen to this thing purr. I'm gonna blow through this stop sign this time. I apologize to anyone. Who cares? Oh yeah, this thing's got some get up and go. I want to see if the shifter moves when I shift. Doesn't look like it. We are cooking. 48, now 45. She's bogging down a little bit, but I think we got it. It's gonna be so much fun trucking into town to sell all my grain whenever that time comes. Probably in the winter, so hopefully it's not too snowy. There's that lovely Jake brake. We may be able to get up to 65 here. I don't know. We'll see. Definitely don't want to be doing that in the semi on a gravel road. Yeah, let's keep it at a manageable speed. Booyah. Here we get to ride by the lake again. Let out a nice Jake brake for all the ducks or whoever's out there. Once I get the semi, I think I'll do the harvester, do a couple of laps, because again, this is soybeans and they haven't been fertilized at all, so the yield is going to be so bad. So I figure the combine won't fill up very fast, so I'll get the combine up here next, do a couple laps around, and then get it started off on a worker. Then I'll go and get my grain tank trailer with the Alice and bring that up here. See if there's a good spot to turn around anywhere. We may have to do this on the field. I'll just leave it right off the field, or right off the road here. Now for the harvester. How does this shed work? Can I just open... Oh, I can open any door, but only one can be open at a time? That's pretty handy. I thought I could only open this one here, because that's what I had open last time. Apparently it's just anything you want to, but only one at a time. This thing is super loud. But the lights look pretty cool on it, I will say that. This is my life. Sitting in a combine. That's way too loud, driving for 5-10 minutes. Just to drop it off at the field and head right back for something else. Sometimes I'm tempted to like just set my spawn point up there by the field and just what's the word, reset the vehicle to the store, which is up there, so I basically just teleport all my machines up there. But that's all I find. That's only like with certain gameplays. Like if I'm doing something where I'm not necessarily role playing, but like I'm trying to be realistic, or like I just enjoy every aspect of farming, that's when I'm gonna drive all the way there. But sometimes if I'm just like, whatever, this is a bit more of an unrealistic playthrough or game, then I'll just teleport. I'm going so far as to only grow crops that they grow in Nebraska on this map, so I'm definitely gonna drive everywhere. I'm not gonna take out tabbing, like, that's crazy. Tabbing is where you just switch between vehicles like that, you teleport to them. If I wasn't gonna do that, and it's a single player game, like, on a 2-player game, that's one thing. You can have your buddy in the pickup truck right behind you. I'm driving the semi, he's driving the pickup with the header trailer right behind me. Then when we get to the field, leave the harvester, unhook the trailer, and drive the pickup back to pick up the next thing. But on a single player game, you can't do that. I would literally have to walk all the way back to the farm to pick up the next thing, and then drive it, and then walk all the way back and drive it. It's like, I'm not doing that. That's not me, bro. So, according to the official Department of Agriculture document I looked up yesterday before starting this, there is a small amount of silage chopped corn in Nebraska. Most of a vast majority of it is cut with a combine, but sometimes it's use a forage harvester and make silage with it. So we could maybe get into that if we wanted to. I think it might be kind of cool to have cows. I feel like that's definitely more of a live stream thing for me. Like, I just don't see a way to make it entertaining on video every single morning doing the same thing, right? I mix up some food, feed the cattle, take the milk, go sell it, then come back. Like, I don't see a way to make that entertaining if I do it every single day. So maybe on a live stream that might work better to do some cattle. I don't know, maybe it's not the case. I just feel like it might get overly repetitive and boring to watch somebody go and cut a cornfield down as silage, then, you know, like, go put it in his silage clamp bunker, whatever, like, multiple times a year. Go to it, mix up some feed the cattle. Like, I don't know. Just seems like that might be a bit too repetitive content, but on a live stream, most people here are here to chill, not to watch something that's super stimulating and cool. Especially not Farming Simulator. If you guys want super stimulating content, please, this is probably the wrong game for you. Nothing overly stimulating about going 6 miles an hour for hours on end, harvesting a pretty dull looking crop at the end of the day. Like, that's not very exciting. But it is satisfying and relaxing, which is why I do it. Also, just want to mention, I've been streaming for 30 minutes and I still haven't even started harvesting because of how gosh darn long it takes to get to the fields, to get anywhere on a 16x map. To be honest, most of the people I see playing this game on this map or maps this big, they're not doing it solo. I thought it might be interesting to play by myself just to see how it is on an absolutely massive map, not even starting with huge equipment. Like, my planter is what? Let's see how big it is. My planter's 8 meters, about 30 foot, and my seeder is 5 meters, which would be what, like 18, 20 feet? They make 100-foot wide seeders and 120-foot wide planters. Like, it gets big. Now's the time where it saves for 2.5 minutes. I'm definitely gonna hit a tree, bro. There's no way. No way. Oh, there aren't any trees. I was thinking of a telephone pole. Getting closer. This is the field I'm going to be in. It's going to take a while. But, like, it's the same shape as this one up here. 145. Like, just a big, giant wedge. But this is a small, skinny wedge. It'd be interesting to run that field. See how long it takes and how much grain you get. Once we get up this hill, we'll be there. Once we get there, we're going to actually start harvest 30 minutes into it. And when we start that harvest, it's going to be exciting. When it's exciting, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to bale more straw, because I like doing that. It'd be cool to get other people on this, make it like a multiplayer game. Or even just have myself on it twice. I have 2 controllers, I could do that. Set up a laptop right next to this one and just play on 2 accounts at the same time. That would be quite difficult, unless I was doing something like this, just driving on the road. It's pretty mindless. Literally just point the joystick and go. Okay, let's see if recording will mess anything up. I hope not. It looks like it does mess something up. Apologies. I was trying to record while live streaming, and apparently my computer didn't like that one bit. Okay, let's get... Let me see if I can make this thing record. Okay, hopefully that will work. Let's get harvesting. The harvester couldn't even go up the hill, dude. What are we doing? Literally, does it not have the power? Shoot, this could be a problem. Maybe I have to start going? I might need to get a bigger harvester. Oh, we're not doing straw swath on this one. We're going. Things are happening. Heck yeah, man. Harvest is happening. We're gonna go 6 miles an hour downhill because that's the max speed, and uphill it's probably gonna be really slow. There's just something about how big a field is that like really adds to the game. Like getting into the field, I barely started, maybe 2 minutes, and like you can look out and see just way off in the distance, like the golden hills. That's all this map. Those are fields. Like that's field 90 or whatever out here. It's awesome. So epic. I don't think I'm going to make it around this field more than halfway before I'm full. Maybe a full time. I don't know. We're already almost at 20% and we just got started. Which is a good sign, but also a little bit scary because that means I'm going to have to do a lot of carting. And to be honest, I'm kind of tired of driving on the roads. If I trusted the workers, I could just grab my Alice and tell it to get on up here, but I really have major issues with that system. It never works, especially not on modded maps, really. I don't know if the modder has to like set that up himself or what, but it just doesn't work. Oh, slowing down. Down to 3. Looks like that's about as slow as we're gonna get on that little uphill. Tell you what, if I get too tired of old machinery, in the spirit of keeping this map what it is, pure as a old iron, working my way up, I might have to stream on Loma, which is all big equipment. Loma, Montana. It's a 4X map, so not nearly the size of this one. But yeah, that's got big equipment, modern equipment. That could be a nice change of pace for us. I love plateau farming, dude. Saw an episode of, I think it was Welker Farms. It could have been something else though. Way back in the day, I want to say like 2020 or 2017. And it was the Big Bud 747, which is to this day the largest tractor in the world. It was that thing ripping up, doing some plowing, chisel plowing, or I guess it was like a chisel tilling. It wasn't really a plow. Up on a plateau in Montana. Some farm owns the tractor and has kept it like just packed away in the shed, whatever. I believe because they couldn't find tires that would work for it for a while, but some new company started making tires for dump trucks, like big commercial dump trucks that aren't road legal. They're absolutely massive. Like the wheel is, half the size of my combine. They started making tires that would fit on the Big Bud, so they brought that back out, the 747. And seeing that thing, that absolutely massive machine, like climbing up through the windy path up to the top of the plateau, that was really cool. And then yeah, it was like a 3,000 acre field up on top of the plateau, and they turned it over with the cultivator, and then brought another Big Bud up with an air seeder to plant. And that was right from that moment that like I instantly fell in love with Big Bud and plateau farming, to the point like I want to move to Montana in real life and do that. Like, it sounds so cool. You could be farming and just look over and there's a cliff. You can see way down the side, whatever. Like, I don't know, that just sounds cool. Maybe I'm just goofy. So yeah, ever since then, I've been super hyped for a farming simulator Montana map, and we've had a couple come out, but they just weren't it. They were in different spots of Montana, or they were just logging or ranching or whatever. But Loma was pretty decent. It had a shot. The map feels pretty bare and monochromatic. It's pretty gray scale. There's not a lot of splashes of color, which could be accurate to the location. I don't know. I've never been. But yeah, it's definitely a wide open spaces map, but I think it might benefit from a little bit higher detail work than what it has, which is cool. To each their own. Some people really love the wide open, so they can do their own detail work when they're, you know, managing the map. But I like to have a good, call it completed map. Like even something as simple as these fences in between fields and like the telephone poles. That's... I don't even think they have that type of stuff on Loma, really. Like, it's just pretty bare. Okay, we're down to 1 mile an hour. Almost a standstill. This is rough. Definitely... let me check. I have the 620, which has, what? 305 horsepower. I want to see how high this particular model goes. We may have to just put a bigger engine in this thing. The 620 is 305. The 670 is 390. 85 extra horsepower. I don't know if that's going to make a huge difference, but we may have to do that. I may have to put down a little toolbox and upgrade this thing. Oh, it's not even harvesting. Is that... why is it doing that? I think I'm gonna have to do that because this is just... this ain't gonna work. Do I have a toolbox mod installed? I might have to drop out and do that real quick. What is this? I'm not doing that. Okay, yeah, that's what we'll do. I will save the game, quit, and then add a mod in. So that'll take me a couple minutes. That's just a classic case of being used to using flat maps. Like, this map has real steep hills, as is the case in real life. Like, you're not going to have... it's not going to be perfectly flat everywhere with very minimal hills like it is in most maps on this game. But that's kind of the way this map is made. I'm used to flat maps, so I figured, you know, a 30-foot header would be fine on this harvester, but apparently we should have done a 25-foot header. We'll see how it does with the bigger engine. If it needs even more, then I'll just have to get a smaller header, which is crazy because this header's already really small for the map I'm on. Welcome in, guys. We're doing soybean harvest. We already started. Spent about 30 minutes driving our equipment up to the field. We're still not done yet. We still have to drive the auger wagon. We've got the harvester, the pickup with our header trailer, and the semi up there. And then we've done a very basic start to the field, just a simple headland around, or fence row, edge row, whatever you want to call it. And I have quickly realized that my harvester is not doing it. Okay, I don't know why you're upside down. Okay, I'm going to... okay, 8498 is how much grain it has if that deletes it when I do this. 8498. 55 grand. Holy cow. That is expansive. Sweet, it didn't lose the grain it had. So I now own a Lexion 670, not the 620. Oh yeah, it's going 5 mile an hour now. It was going 0. It's not harvesting. I don't know if that's because it's too steep or what, but it does that sometimes. It just doesn't really want to. What in the heck? What are we doing, game? Okay, well I probably didn't need to go with the 670 then. I could have handled a 650 or 640 or whatever. It just needed a little bit more juice, I think. Who knows, maybe I could run a 35-foot header now. Right, I hope I can get up to that top corner there before I'm full. And I'll probably just drive this thing over to the semi and unload for the first few times, because I'm tired of driving this stuff all the way up here. It takes forever. This map is huge. I want to kind of fill up the semi first before I get the auger wagon all the way out here. And I'm just going to do 2 laps around this whole field, and then we'll get a worker going while I mess with the straw bales still from wheat harvest. I've got to get half of the first field baled still. Well, probably only like a quarter. And then the entire second field needs done. And then I've got to pick up the bales, take them off the field to sell them somewhere. I don't even know how much they're worth. Probably not that much, to be honest. Let's see how much straw goes for. Looks like I can get 260 is the best price, which is way higher than what it says the highest price is, so that's awesome. And that's per 1,000 liters. Each bale is like 9,000 liters, so we could get a couple grand per bale. That's a lot of money. I've made probably 50 bales yet. I can actually check that. Let's do that. I have made 58 bales, so we could be coming into a very nice sum of money. Let's see how this thing handles this hill. Still at 6, doing pretty good. We're at 90%. This is bad. I may have to... Dude, if I have to stop before I get to the end, I will literally have to drive the auger wagon all the way up here and then drive all the way around the field to rescue this combine. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to drive through the crop. I'll lose a bit of crop, but I don't want to drive all the way around, dude. 95. I don't think we're going to make it. %. Uh-oh. Hey, we're down to 4. And we're also not picking up some crop, which is weird. I think I can maybe squeeze the tractor in there, so that's not the end of the world. Alright. Nice and full. Now it's time to go and get the Alice with our auger wagon. Gotta move my fence so I can get out of the way. And probably take about, 10, 15 minutes to drive up to the field, because that's how things work on this map. Much too big. And for some reason, this thing's steering is so much more touchy than other tractors I've got. I don't know what it is. This is all just a science experiment. I'm trying to see if it is feasible to play on a 16x map by yourself. Solo playing on a 16x map. 16x means 16 kilometers by 16 kilometers, or 64 times the size of a normal base game map. There are 64 base game maps on this map, and I have to drive across like 4 or 5 of them just to get to my field. Little washout there. Wonder if that fills up when it rains. That'd be cool. Hopefully this turbo noise isn't too annoying. It is a little aggressive sometimes. And overpowering. If you have this thing like turned up pretty good, that turbo noise kind of hurts my ears. Alright, just for reference, I've been driving for a few minutes. Okay, my mouse isn't showing up for some reason. There it is. This is where I started. That's where I am. I gotta get all the way up and around and down there. Whoops. Ooh. There goes my tractor. Started there, made that. I still gotta go up here, turn around, come all the way down here, and then... The harvester made it almost all the way around the field before it got full, but not quite. Just munching on some crackers. Pretty good post-supper snack. Getting a little bouncy. It's pretty neat accelerating in this tractor from a stop because all these little levers are moving around. Although maybe that's the white I'm thinking of. No, this one does. Sometimes if you're bogged down pretty heavy in the field, it'll shift them a bit more, but yeah. It's pretty neat. What do y'all think about the front tires I got on this thing? The wide diamond treads, as opposed to the thin row crop tires. Dude, this is how big this map is. I get so distracted, I start talking about tires and gear lever shifts and washouts in the road. It's so big. It is interesting because on normal maps, you spend the vast majority of your time farming, and the minority of your time is spent driving around and doing other stuff. But on this map, I have spent maybe 20 minutes harvesting, and like 45 minutes driving implements and equipment up to the field. Definitely a different way to play the game, for sure. It's pretty tough to remember to stop recording and start recording and stuff. I'll get better at it, I bet. I can't use my computer's recording software because it tanked my stream last time. I can definitely see why the majority of people that play this type of game on this size of a map play with friends. Because being able to talk to people and like see them driving around would make this a lot better. But here I'm just talking to myself. I think like planting and cultivating or doing tillage work would be super satisfying. Because it definitely is a benefit to have like massive fields, for me at least, when I plant, because it's probably the thing I enjoy most. I need more USB ports on my computer too, because I can't use my steering wheel and my microphone at the same time unless I unplug my mouse. And I need my mouse, I think. So yeah, but who knows, maybe I could change that at some point. Plus the steering wheel also makes a lot of noise, so having that and the microphone, you know, sometimes it doesn't work out great. When we get some more modern equipment, we can get GPS on it and stuff too, so that'll help with all the freehand stuff. Like I can just be using GPS for that, especially doing tillage work and maybe spraying. Spraying, GPS is huge for spraying because it's kind of hard to see what you've sprayed and what you haven't in this game. I want to plow. That's what I want to do. I don't have a plow. I don't have a tractor that could even plow very well. This is my biggest one. It is, yeah, 181. I might have to get something bigger and get me a plow, because that sounds like fun. We gotta finish harvesting, of course, first, though. Oh, dang, we're here. Alright, so I hope I can fit along the outside here, because the harvester is so close. I might have to crush some crops, so everybody turn your eyes away, avert your eyes. Pains me to get rid of the crop, even though I'm gonna make so much. This is like an inconsequential amount. I drove over 2 rows of crop for like maybe 20-30 foot. Ooh. I don't think we're making that one. Whip it around. We can actually unload for the first time in... I've been streaming... How long has it been, man? Over an hour. And I'm just now getting my first full load. Oh, wait. Is that fan? Hey, look at that. You can see the fan spinning in there. I like that level of detail, but I wish that was like a thing I could turn off, like tractor animations. This thing spins, the flywheel on the outside spins. Not that that takes up that much, you know, computing power for my computer, but it does take a little bit out, you know, this map takes every bit of RAM that my and processor speed that my computer has. So if I could just turn off little animations like that fan, it's spinning constantly, even though I can't see it right now. See, once I get closer to it, you can see it spinning in there. But like, I can't see it right now, it's still spinning. My computer has to think about that computer spinning all the time. It's slightly annoying. But what's not annoying is that we can finally get back to harvesting. Apologies for all the times I bump my mic. You can hear it, it's loud. I'm operating on what I'll call a low budget setup right now. My microphone is just sitting on my table and I bump it when I reach for things, and I've got a steering wheel right in front of it that I keep hitting. Maybe someday I can get a mic stand so it just floats right in front of my face. And more than 3 USB ports so I can actually use my steering wheel with my microphone. I bought a joystick too, man. I wanted to be able to live stream with my steering wheel, a joystick, and my microphone, but I can't do that. Like, I don't have the space. I'll have to get either a new computer or just one of them multi-USB port things. Plus the joystick is kind of crapped out too, so not super happy about that because it was $100 and I used it for maybe 15 hours of gameplay. They don't even offer refunds or replacements or anything, so whatever. It was fun. It still could be fun. It still works. It's just got some issues, especially with the camera pan, like left to right. If I do left very slightly, it'll go right. And then if I go to the left and then switch to the right real quick, it'll kind of like jiggle around weird. And if I let go of it, it still goes to the right for a little bit before it finds the center. So it just does weird stuff with the camera and jerks around. So it's just not great. Another mod I'm gonna get, hopefully the next time I load in, I don't need it right now, is the Follow Me mod. Basically, I could have my Alice be tagging along like right about here, back here, just following my harvester around the field, so whenever I get full, I just put the pipe out, switch to the Alice, fire the worker, and go and unload, and then put it right back on, which is pretty neat. So I'll probably get that next time. It's not, obviously it's not realistic, but, you know, who's going to hire a worker? Some guy's putting his life on the line working for your farm, and then you just fire him whenever your combine gets full so that you can hop in the tractor and go unload it and then hire him back. Like, you know, whatever. It's one of those quality of life things. Whenever I get full, wherever I'm at on the field, I'll have to hop in the Alice, drive it all the way around to get to me, and then I'm good to go. I suppose you could also do auto drive. I've never actually used auto drive. I use course play. But I believe with auto drive, you can have the auger wagons going like completely automatically. If you combine courseplay and auto drive, like I could just have a couple tractors out here and a harvester and they do the whole field. I wouldn't even have to do anything except set it up. Which again, I may get around to figuring out at some point. Honestly, the reason I haven't done that yet is because this game's got 3-4 months left of its life until the new one comes out. Do I really want to sit here for a few hours and learn how to perfect auto drive? Or not even perfect, it would take a lot of time to do that. Just learn the basics. Spend a couple hours, learn the basics, get used to it. And then in 2 months, it's a new system, new game, and I have to relearn it all over again. I don't really want to do that. Once I heard the new game was coming out, I was basically like, yeah, I'm probably not going to do anything new until the new one comes out. But I know courseplay pretty well. It's pretty simple. I don't think I have it. Oh, I do. I've got it on here right now. But I'm going to wait. Courseplay would be handy if I have to like if I'm trying to till up this soybean field while I'm harvesting the corn and while I'm trying to run the grain cart and, you know, still doing straw bales from last harvest. Like, that type of thing is where courseplay comes in handy. Or if I've got 3 harvesters, I'm not running 3 harvesters by myself. I'll just get courseplay to do it for me. This harvest has been going pretty smoothly since we put that bigger engine in here. It's been pretty much locked right at 6 for most of the time since then. We've almost got our second lap around the field, and then we're going to get it on a worker. I'll probably just come to about here, not all the way on the edge, but just somewhere in the middle, and just send it straight up and down. Get it unloaded and then just set it off. Because I got to do me some straw bales. Quickly realizing, though, it's going to be ridiculously long to get this field done if I do it all on live stream, which I plan on doing. Like, I'm talking maybe like 2 or 3 real-life days of streaming a couple hours a day to get this thing done. Like, it's already 8 o'clock. I should get off around 8:39, and I've barely made a dent in the field. Granted, I started recording, or streaming it. Dang it, I forgot to start recording. I started streaming at like 6:55, almost 7, so it's only been, you know, slightly over an hour. But still, for an hour, I'd like to have a little bit more progress than 1.5 fence rows around the field. That is the nature of a 16x map, though. If y'all could do me a favor, feel free to head down to the comment section or the live chat and give me a suggestion of some sort. Just some feedback or something so I know you're there. That would go a long way. Maybe y'all want to see me run a different map or different equipment on this map or what, or just ideas of what to do next, whether it's on this series or another. It's greatly appreciated. I like hearing your guys' feedback. Here's that spot where the harvester messed up the first time. In my toolbox, that's where I put the bigger engine in because it's slowed way down on this hill. It was going like 1 mile an hour, 0 miles an hour. It was not having a good day. And then it wouldn't even harvest here. I don't know what's up with that, but I'm going to try and hit it from a different direction. I think I got my header stuck on the fence. That's funny. As lucrative as soybeans are in this game, they look so ugly, in my opinion. Especially this texture. It's just, I don't know, man. These textures have come a long way. I need to remind myself of that, but there's sometimes I look at them, I'm just like, that looks really bad. I feel like in 2024, with the amount of development we've had in game engines, like if you've seen anything with Unreal Engine 5, super hyper realistic. Like you can, some of the stuff they shoot on that engine, that game engine, is ridiculous. It looks like it's real life. How in the world is this the best we can do for a farming game? A bunch of little twigs poking up out of the ground and poorly painted on textures. They're not even 3D, they're just two-dimensional, whatever. Kind of have to take it two ways. We've come a long way, but also there's a long way to go. We need to be appreciative of how far it's come, but also driven towards making it better. And it does get better every couple years when a new game comes out, for sure. Like, I had 2017 Farming Simulator 17 before this one. And let me tell you, the jump in quality was humongous. I remember the first day I played this game. It was November 22nd, the day it came out. I think it was November 22nd. I could be wrong. Nearly took my breath away. Not really. I was just like, I remember being like, wow, this is awesome. I was on Elm Creek. I had that little wheat field that you start ready to harvest, and I was just like, I kept zooming in on it like, wow, this looks amazing. And that was on like medium level quality, like that's the quality I'm on right now, the graphics level. I've played on the highest graphic level, not the best graphics. I haven't fine-tuned every setting to be perfect because my computer can't handle that, to be honest. But I've turned them up pretty good, and the game looks pretty good on certain graphics. So, it's still pretty good, but it can get better, and I'm excited for it to get better when the new one comes out. November 12th is the magic number. Alright, let's whip this thing around. And go and unload it. And we are getting close to being able to hire a worker and relaxing with some straw bales. I do quite enjoy harvest, but without the steering wheel and knowing I can have a worker do this. Like, I can have a worker run this field just fine. I can't have a worker do these bales. I've got to do that myself, so I kind of want to just get to it and do them so I know they're done. Also, this incline is massive, by the way. It doesn't look like it. It's really hard to show. These hills are pretty intense. I love it. The game could probably have a little higher level of detail for sure, but then, you know, I wouldn't be able to run it. My computer already struggles with it being a pretty bare bones map. I meant the map, by the way, not the game. This map could have more detail. Think of like Court Farms or Calmston Farm, some of those really high level maps with stuff everywhere and foliage, everything is intentional and looks really good. This map is way too big for something like that. This map is huge. You can't have, like, Court Farms, the download file is almost as big as the download file for this map. This map is 64 times larger, and the download size is almost the same. That's insane. The level of detail in those maps is ridiculous. And the level of optimization in this map is also really, really impressive. It runs well for how big it is. Here we go, rounding the corner on the last fence row that I'm gonna do, and then we'll get that thing hired up on a worker. That's pretty good there. Turn around. My cruise control is set to be way too high. 15 is too fast, but we'll do that. And then turn it. Our worker right here. And I'll let the AI figure that one out. I'm gonna go turn my semi around so that it's ready to get grain in it and then dump this in it. I'm not sure how long that harvester is going to go before it gets full, but it's only at like 30%, so it should be pretty good. I don't know if that properly shows the incline, but it's pretty steep. I might, like that Case IH 715, I've been worried that I wouldn't be able to find something that could max it out. Like 700 horsepower is a lot more than even the biggest air seeders need in this game. But I don't think you could pull those big old air seeders on this map with the amount of topography these maps have. That looks like a thumbnail right there. Let's grab it. Spicy. Oh, it left a sliver. I think the header just can't quite contour as much as I'd like it to. That's the problem. Can't really do anything about that, but, you know. Let's get this puppy dog up towards the top of the hill so it can start off going downhill, because I don't know if it could start out going uphill on this field. Wonderful. This won't quite fill up the semi, but the next harvester full can fill up the semi. I probably won't. I'll wait until it fills up the grain cart again to fill up the semi, but I feel like by that time I should be ready to drive the semi. Well, let's check the prices actually. Oh, it's got to save, dang it. I was worried. As annoying as this is, though, the first time this game crashes, because it probably will with how big this map is, the first time this game crashes, I'm going to be so appreciative of the autosave feature. It's one of those things that it's annoying until you need it, and then it's a lifesaver. So it's worth about $3,200 right now. It'll be up to $64, so it's literally half. I'm not selling that right now. Could honestly sell the wheat if I wanted to. It's a pretty good price, but it'll get better. Okay, there we go. That one's done. Now I want to see the harvester's 64%. I'm going to make sure it turns around so that the pipe is facing towards the open side I've just cut. And then I'm going to unload on the go with that Alice. Just to make sure we've got everything done. Then we can get to the straw bales. Yeah, that's all I've done in over an hour of streaming. Hurts, don't it? I don't know. These workers need a lot of work, dude. That's so annoying. They're just driving to my crop. It doesn't break it, but still, like, again, 2024, I feel like we could probably be coding a little more intelligent AI workers for us. Nothing bad on Giants, though. They make a great game. I love it. And they're a pretty small studio, so they probably just don't have the people or the money or whatever to be able to code something that well. It's kind of tough because it's sort of like a closed cycle, right? Like, wherever they are right now, however good the game is, it can only get a little bit better each time because you've got a certain amount of people that play the game. They're going to probably buy the next one, so that's the amount of money you get. You'll get a few new players, obviously, so there's a bit more money for you. But you've got all these employees, you've got all this technology, this infrastructure you have for the game. When you put out a game, you already start working on the next one, so you're paying these people to develop the next game. You've only got a certain amount of money you're making off each game, so it's hard to roll to, like, you can't just fix every issue with the game. You only have a certain amount of money, you only have a certain amount of time, so you have to pick a few issues with the game, a few big things you want to make better, and do it. And, like, if somebody's got an issue with a certain part of the game that you weren't able to fix with that generation, they gotta wait for the next one and hopefully you fix it then. So, like, I'd say workers are a big deal. They've already talked about workers being improved for the Farming Simulator 25, but, like, the straw swath looks the same. So, like, certain parts of the game, they're not gonna change because they don't want to focus on it. You could probably make everything a little bit better, or make a few things a lot better and leave other things the same. And honestly, I can't be so hard on them because they're changing things. They're adding a few crops. Dude, that's so annoying. They're adding a few crops, they're adding a few new features, they're making everything a little bit better. The graphics, the workers, the economy, the seasons, everything. It all gets a little bit better with each game. But, yeah. It would be nice to see someone else come to the game. Like, someone else come to the scene, make a farming game with a huge budget. Just get a AAA studio on it. Somebody who's got tons of money, gonna sell tons of copies of the game. Not because I want Giants to have any competition, but because I just want to see what a blank check or an unlimited budget could do for something like this. Alright, time for some bales. Time to sit back, relax, and pump out some straw bales. So relaxing. All the little noises that come from this thing. The fact that I'm going 6 miles an hour. The fact that I'm dropping these giant turds off behind me. Oh, that's a thumbnail right there. I don't know if I'll ever use that for a video, but, you know, it looks pretty cool, I think. Don't text and drive, kids. That's what I was doing. Which is why I swerved. I'm enjoying some nice crackers. Some generic brand club crackers. And they're good. That's why I'm not talking so much. Let me know what y'all's favorite cracker is. Favorite type of snack cracker. You more of a Ritz guy, a saltine cracker, club, something else. Maybe you prefer Wheat Thins or Triscuits, Cheez-Its, Chex Mix, something like that. Although I wouldn't call Chex Mix a cracker necessarily. Chicken and a biscuit, those are pretty good. I'd say I love, like if we're talking just straight up crackers, you got saltines, Ritz, or a club cracker. Whereas saltines are the big squares that are kind of flaky. Ritz are the round, buttery ones. Club are the rectangles that have got a good amount of salt and butter on them. I mean, I think some people like oyster crackers, are they're called. I forget exactly what they are. They're like little hexagonal, really small hexagonal cracker things. You can put them in soup. They're pretty good in soup, but I can't really just grab a handful of those and munch on them. You know, that's not great. But if we're talking just straight crackers, I'm definitely a club crackers guy. If we're opening it up to like snack crackers, say Wheat Thins, chicken and a biscuit, Triscuit, other stuff like that, then I'd have a little bit of a harder decision to make. I feel like I would go with old Wheat Thins. Dude, Wheat Thins used to be so good. They used to hit so hard. Lately they've been... I don't know if they changed their recipe, they do less salt or less high quality products or whatever. It just doesn't taste the same. It doesn't taste as good. I've been a little bit underwhelmed with wheat thins lately, so I've definitely taken that. Apologize for that. I've got an alarm going off telling me to get off my game. Not yet. Right, so now I'm definitely more of a chicken and a biscuits guy when it comes to snack crackers. I've been doing Triscuits lately because I don't want to get tired of chicken and a biscuit. Plus, there's only like 2 flavors of chicken and a biscuit at Walmart, and there's like a bunch of different flavors of Triscuit. Triscuits are like a really grainy cracker. They're like, it's not a cracker. It's a bunch of fibers of grain woven together, kind of. They're pretty crunchy. They got little seasoning on the top. They're pretty good. I think they're probably the healthiest of the options, but that's not everything when it comes to crackers. They were on rollback at Walmart last time I was there, so I got a few boxes of them because they were cheaper than normal. And if you ever don't have any real preference over one thing or another and something is discounted or cheaper, always go with the cheaper one, man. If you can't decide which carpet you like or which hardwood sample or paint sample you like, if you're trying to decide for some home renovations, go with the cheaper one if you can't decide which one. That way at least there's something you can appreciate about it. If you're like, man, I'm not really feeling this bright green anymore, you can say, oh, that was the cheapest option of the ones I liked at the time. So you can still appreciate it for that. And also, if you don't like it, it's the cheapest thing to rip out and replace, you know? Maybe not the greatest of examples, but that's just kind of what I was thinking. Man, we're talking about everything on this live stream. Crackers. Excuse me. Shifting gears in my tractors. Home renovation. It's a good time. Let's see how the harvesting crew is getting along. 50%. Probably try and unload when the harvester gets close to this. Man, I don't know what it is about baling lately, but I've been really enjoying it. Maybe I should have just done this today. Instead of screwing around with driving for 45 minutes getting all my stuff to the field. This is great. And part of that, I'm sure, is because the size of the field is almost perfect for baling. Like, those fields where it takes you like 15 minutes to get from one side to the other, that's just too big. You get tired of things pretty quick. You know, that's when you get GPS and, like, start it on the one pass, go and do something, read a book, watch a video, eat supper, whatever, and then just turn around. But whereas this is like, there's not big enough to require GPS. I just drive around and enjoy myself. And that's, you know, it only takes me a minute or two to get to the other side. It's perfect. It's not too small either where you're always turning, because those can be annoying too. Alright, let's go ahead and unload this harvester as it goes by. It's so annoying, it's leaving these little bits and bobs everywhere. I think it's just because the hills are like too extreme. The header can't flex enough to reach them or something, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's soybeans and it's such a short crop that the harvester doesn't have to bounce very much and then it misses. I don't know what it is, but it's tough. I'm gonna have to come back through and do it all myself. All the stuff that's been missed, because I mean that each patch isn't worth all that much by itself, but it adds up for sure. I suppose I could get a thumbnail here too, maybe. That harvester dominates this tractor. It looks huge. Yeah, the lighting's not right. It's on the wrong side. Dang, my Alice is... It's struggling. It can't make it up the hill. That's too full. I need a bigger tractor. Literally maxed out and it can't keep up with the harvester. Okay, that's good enough. We'll go and fill up that semi and drive that back. Drop that stuff off in my grain bins. Just turned off the baling tractor because it's not going to be baling for a while. I'll be driving for 5 minutes. No need to waste fuel and maintenance on the tractor. Alrighty, let's get this Mac to the farm. I want to see how much this thing struggles on the hills fully loaded. It'll fly downhill for sure. Might even have to pull out that beautiful Jake brake a little bit. Locked pretty much on 40s. But it'll be like a long, steady uphill once we turn this corner, I think. Stay around 40, I don't want to get too fast. I don't want to set the cruise either, because then I can't hear the Jake. Let me stop the recording. I can't really do it on the turn, can I? Whoops. That's a tough challenge. I don't know if it's going to be feasible at all to make a video out of this. It might just have to be a live stream thing, but I'll see what I can do. Yeah, here's the long, steady uphill. We'll see what she can do. Uh-oh. Bogging down a little bit. These beans are bad enough, dude. I can't imagine how many times I'm gonna have to be stopping what I'm doing to unfill the grain tank when I'm doing corn, because that yields so much higher. And it's been fertilized, whereas these beans haven't. But that's not a today problem. It's probably not even a tomorrow problem, because I'll be pretty busy. To be honest, the next live stream, I'm still going to be working on this bean field, because there ain't no way I'm getting that done today. I'm getting close to checking out for tonight. I forgot to check how slow we were going at the slowest. Whoops. Man, I love Jake brakes. Almost back to the farm, guys. I might buy this tiny little field here. I don't know. Whoops. Overshot a little bit. Home sweet farm. Tiny little farm build I have. We need to get this thing looking pretty. I have one shed, a silo, and a little concrete pad thing. Okay, let's see how much that little field there is worth after it saves. Feel free to let me know if you guys have been enjoying this with a like. That's greatly appreciated. Or just like send a comment in the chat and say, I like this. That'd be cool. Okay, how much is that field? Field 159. $5,000? Heck yeah, man. Can I press buy, please? I am now the proud owner of a tiny little field. That's probably just going to have a shed on it eventually. It's not going to remain a field for a while, like forever. But I'm doing soybeans. It's right next to my farm. I may as well. Let's get this thing way back to the farm. I think I'll probably just get this thing up to the field and then maybe do a little bit more baling and call it for the day. My alarm already went off to tell me to go to bed anyways, so... yeah. But yeah, it's gotten to the point where it's... my eyes want to just zone out and focus way past the screen. Not because I'm like super tired or anything, it just happens after a little bit. If I could do this full time though, man, that'd be so great. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I do enjoy what I do. Vocationally. I've got 8 hours every day, every weekday, taken up, and then after that it's life stuff, and then I can stream on top of that. Hey, we're right on 65. Worker's grain tank is pretty full. He's facing the wrong way though, so I can't unload him. We'll see if he makes it to the end and then turns back. And you'll see way off in the distance when the grass like spawns in or renders in or whatever. I think you can. It looks like it shows up on my end. That's something that I wish I had a better computer for. This little like circle around my character, the zone of rendering or whatever, is pretty annoying, especially if you're trying to do high quality recording or just playing on a high rendering. I don't want to see that necessarily, so that's just going to be something where I say someday Someday I can have a pretty beefy computer and run this thing. Be able to run a map like this pretty easy. Not a need at all. There are way, way more pressing financial needs and wants that come before that, but still. Something I thought I'd mention. Right, finally back at the field. I can turn around and get this auger wagon fully unloaded. The worker's full. He's still facing the wrong way, so I'll just get him to face the correct way. And we are running low on fuel. Is there even a gas station on this map? That's something I forgot to check. There is a gas station, okay. That's right by the vehicle shop. I might have to take out a bit of a loan. As much as I'd like to have an old fuel trailer, I don't have a mod for that. I don't know where I would find a mod for that. I don't necessarily want to look for it, so we're just gonna have to get us a Thunder Creek trailer for 30 grand. What could I do for pickups? 200 horsepower, 160 horsepower. So I suppose the 1986 pickup has a bit more horsepower. It might do a little better. I don't know. I'll probably keep the pickup I have right now. The fact that this 30-foot header is missing spots has me worried for when I get like 50 and 60-foot headers. Like, are they going to be able to do anything on these types of fields, or are they going to just miss left and right? I'm a little worried they might miss left and right all over the place. There might be some modded headers that do a lot better with contours and stuff. I might have to look into those instead of the honeybee. Okay, let's just take out like a $10,000 or let's take out $25,000 loan. Just because I gotta pay for like. I suppose I could have just rented or seen if there was something used. Nothing used. I'll just rent. Oh, I don't know where that went. I have deliveries on. Is it outside my farm? Yep. Dang it. Although maybe that's not a dang it because it is a lot closer to my... You know what? Shoot, we're just going to put it right next to where I want it. If I'm going to pay for a delivery fee, I'm going to pay for it to be delivered where I want it to be. That's not what I wanted done. And of course, there's no gas station around here, so I'm just gonna use my developers controls or something to fill it up, and then I'll just remove, let's see, 3,700 liters Let's remove 5,000 bucks. There we go. I paid a service to deliver a fully loaded trailer out to me. That's what we did there. Don't worry about it. Eric says hi. Hey, how's it going? Oh, I forgot my cruise is set to 60. That's a little fast. It's good. That's good to hear. How was your Tuesday? Got a lot of soybeans there. Yep, I've got a fair bit of work to do on this farm. Oh, come on, that's not hitting. Unfortunately, I don't have any mods to get a hose or anything, so I'll just have to... It is filling up, I think. Yeah, looks like it is. I wish there were fuel hoses. That would look good. You like the Chalmers? I do too. Unfortunately, this one has a really loud turbo noise, so it's a little bit annoying, but they're pretty cool. Oh, I think I just ruined my pickup. I'll just leave the pickup there. I guess it's not full yet. No, it's not good. The good news is, of course, it's just a game, so when I ruin my pickup, it doesn't actually ruin it. Something tells me I might not have as big of a smile on my face if this was real, and I just put a header on the roof of my pickup. Of course, unless you're my grandpa, he has the innate ability to have a smile on his face no matter what's going on. I remember one time last harvest, he unloaded. I was running the grain cart. We were doing corn, and he was rocking the harvester, opening up a new field. So, you go a couple laps around to open things up, and then you got room to turn around and everything. He opened a lane for me to pull up so he could unload because he was getting full and there wasn't any room. He forgot to put the auger away, left that thing out there, and ran into a tree. I tried calling him to let him know it was out, but he doesn't always pick up his phone, so... But that thing got tangled up in a tree as he was going, and it twisted the harvester. Like, obviously it's hydraulic, it's got a good amount of force behind that auger that'll keep it out. And he's driving straight, and it's starting to pull the harvester off towards the trees on the left. And did a pretty good number on that auger, ripped it open, and it bent the corkscrew or whatever it's called on the inside of the auger. So that was done. But he came out of the tractor, and I remember this. I'll probably remember it for a while. He came out of the harvester and had a big smile on his face. Came up to me in the tractor because I had stopped, of course, seeing what had happened, and figured we probably couldn't do any more that day. And he was like, well, I don't think that's going to work very well, or I think we're done for the day, or just something silly like that. And I think that's awesome, because other people may be, screaming and cussing and throwing a fit because they just ruined their harvester, or maybe they get mad at me because I didn't warn them or something. But no, he was just mellow and had a smile on his face. So Yeah, them augers ain't cheap. That is correct. I forget the price tag on it, but it was not. It was more than $3. Let's say that. Thankfully, we got it fixed. I think the next day he had a parts store that had an auger for him, so fixed that up and we got done the next day because it was literally the last field too for harvest that year. Eric said I was pulling a truck around to unload into my grain bin and clipped the edge of it and scratched my 3-week-old Kenworth W600. Man, that is rough. That reminds me of the time, also my grandpa, that's where most of my farm stories come from, got himself a nice new pickup truck because he had a good year for farming. And he was pulling his 5th-wheel camper. I think he was moving stuff around in his shop. And he had his 5th-wheel camper. He's backing it up around to try and maneuver around stuff he already had in there. And jackknifed it a bit and put the camper through the back window of his brand new pickup. So that also hurts. Do you use the steering wheel? I have one right in front of me. Unfortunately, I don't have enough USB ports on my computer to run a microphone and a mouse and my steering wheel at the same time. So until I can get a multi-USB adapter, unfortunately I'm stuck with the controller. But I even have a joystick too. I've got a steering wheel, the joystick, the whole number. Unfortunately, I can't use it all at once for the time being. I think that's all the bales done for this field. So that's pretty cool. How many bales was it? Let's check that out. Hopefully it doesn't need to save. Dang it. Takes a while. Because it's such a big map. Where can I get this map? This is Hubbard, Nebraska, 16x. I'm gonna have to get it from itch.io. It's a PC-only map. It's 64 times the size of a normal map. And I don't remember exactly the name of who put it out, but if you just look up Hubbard, Nebraska on the interwebs, that'll get it to you. Pretty decent map. I like the hills. It's pretty hilly. A lot of maps, especially the base game ones. They're too flat. Kind of takes out some of the feeling of the map. But this one's pretty good. Does it cost money? You are allowed to donate as much as you see fit, but you don't have to donate if you don't want to. The modders just open that up because they spend a lot of their time on the maps and obviously would appreciate getting paid. But yeah, it's not required in the slightest. I haven't particularly paid for a map that I've downloaded. I've always got the worry I won't enjoy it very much, so I don't donate. But I'm sure if there was a map that I really loved and I was doing really well financially, I might consider it. Everyone likes a little payday, you're right. Best day of the week. Ooh. Hopefully those brakes worked. Just cleaning up a little bits where the header didn't flex enough. I might have to look into some better headers that don't do that. You're farming Iowa Plains right now. That's cool. Did you just start that farm or has it been going for a while? I just started this one. Two years in. Is that in-game or real life 2 years? Because while both are impressive, one of them is a little bit more. I started a map probably the first 2 weeks that the game was out on the French map. It's like Oh Belarus or something like that. And I put over 200 hours in real life into that, and that was pretty cool, but I decided to delete it when I got my new computer, just to not have to change all the files over and deal with the cloud stuff. Yeah, looks like you had an issue with the cloud too. That sucks, man. I've had issues with it too, but thankfully I've usually been able to keep going. I do regret deleting that one, because I wish I'd still had it. There's something sentimental about the map where you kind of figure out how the game works on, I think, and that was definitely the one for me. I tried out grapes and olives and stuff on that, because those are new for this. But now I don't have it. I think my biggest game save since then is about 40 or 50 hours. Would you be down to do multiplayer? Yeah, that's something I don't know how to do necessarily. I've never done it before, but I would definitely be down for that. Not tonight though, I'm about to get off. I had a couple of my friends get the game when it was free on Epic, and family members, because there's no harm, no foul to get it when it's free, you know. I just told them if they ever got in the mood to play some Farming Simulator to hit me up. Yeah, man, what's your Discord? If you're comfortable putting that in chat. Thank you, sir. I'll try and add you after the stream. See if we can't work something out. Fortunately, it is well past my bedtime, so I should probably be wrapping things up once I get this little strip done. I'll drive this harvester up to the top and leave it there. Get it ready for the next stream, which might be tomorrow, might be later on. Who knows? Same here. What time is it for you, Eric? If you don't mind me asking. Because it is 9:10 for me, p.m. Not all that late, but I do get up pretty early, so 9:10, yeah, same time zone. Yeah, I gotta get up at 4:45 for work in the morning, so typically go to bed around 9. Usually get off games around 8. Yeah, I start at 6 as well. About a 20-minute drive, eat breakfast in the morning, about 30 minutes to get ready and eat breakfast. You work on a ranch or do you own a ranch, Eric? Oh, you work across the street? That's cool. Yeah, props to you. That's gotta be a lot running a ranch and a job at the same time. Oh, you work on a local farm? I kind of want to see if I could do something like that. I've helped out family before, but never another farmer. Still young. Well, hey, man. You couldn't tell by my voice, I am as well. I guess it's better to pile all that stuff on when you're younger than when you're older. Your dream job? Yeah, farming's my dream job too. Dallas may look nice, but it does struggle on a full load up the hills. I definitely should get a bigger tractor. Something to handle the grain cart and any plowing or tillage action I do. What exactly is a UTV? I've heard of ATVs. I've heard of UTVs as well, I just don't know exactly what that stands for. I assume it's some sort of four-wheeler or Ranger type thing. What kind of tractor I would get next? Oh, UTV is utility. Okay. Utility. So probably similar to an ATV. I don't know if what I was driving were actually ATVs. Yeah. Tractor, right. Let's see what I got. Trying to stay slightly older for the time being. There is another Alice mod I have that's a big articulated, and I think it's got about 300 horsepower, which might be exactly where I want to be. This is a Russian brand, so it wouldn't really make much sense, but I think that's just about how big the Alice is. Oh, you've got a Bobcat. I've driven one of them before. My uncle's got one. I don't know if he still has it, actually. It's been quite a while since I was in that thing. Let you see large. You talking about large tractors? You'd get the Chalmers? Yeah, I might. It sounds like it's exactly what I'm looking for. Plus, I've already got it installed. I just didn't select it for this playthrough. They do make good tractors. They look nice, too. That orange looks great. Yeah, there is a good mod pack for challengers too. I think it was Sid modding that made those. I don't remember exactly what horsepower they've got, but they've probably got plenty. Originally, my idea was to use smaller equipment on a giant map, but as you can tell, streaming 2 hours and doing that much of the field, it might be good to get something bigger. Got a couple fields of corn up here, and then a tiny field of corn right there. And I just bought this tiny $5,000 field right there too. Did you see the new case in John Deere articulating tractors? Absolutely. I got really excited when I heard rumors about the John Deere, and didn't know about the case before it came out, but I've got it installed, not on this playthrough, but I definitely that's where I'd like to be in time on this map using the 715, and I don't know if the John Deeres will be out by the time Farming Simulator 25 comes out. I think I heard somebody's working on them. Couple modders are working on getting the John Deere 830s. You drove the new case? Dang, that's cool. How was it? The farm got it brand new. Wow, that's impressive. What kind of tools are they running with that? You got a big air seeder or plow or tillage something or other? They run a plow? Cool. Yeah, I think it looks pretty dope. I've heard it sounds pretty mean too. What kind of crops do you guys farm up in northern Illinois? Is it a lot of corn and beans like the most of the Midwest, or you got some other stuff in there too? 38 or 42 foot planter? Nice. 715 horsepower. Well, actually, it'll do more if it needs to. 715 is what it's rated to at 100% utilization. Oh, you've got some wheat up there too. Lots of gardens. Yeah, that sounds about right. They've got peaches in southern Illinois, really? I didn't know that. I used to live in Illinois myself, but I think I was more central. I don't remember exactly. I was too young to know exactly where I was in the state. But all the farming I've done's been in Iowa, and that's just about 100% corn and beans. There's not really anything else. I don't even remember the name of the town, to be honest with you. I think it was not a big city, but in between a small town and big city. Maybe like 50,000 people there, I'm not sure. Your town has 21,000? Sounds about right. Oh, I'm going way too fast. 21,000's a good size. I lived in some smaller towns than that. I've lived in much bigger. But 21,000 sounds good. You'll have decent options to do for stuff to do, assuming it's not too spread out, and also you're not going to have to deal with a bunch of traffic or issues with city life. Here's our farm if you haven't seen it. Pretty straightforward and simple. I got a shed and a silo. Everyone knows each other, yep. That's how it goes in the small towns. I feel like it's both good and bad to know your neighbors really well, because if your neighbors are annoying, you know them, and that's unfortunate, but also it's definitely a help to know people around you if something goes wrong or somebody goes bad. It's good to have someone you know around keeping an eye on things or whatever. It is good to have good neighbors, though. It's definitely something I wish the world had more of. It seems like most people don't really care to have neighbors that they know very well. Yeah, I'll have a look at some mods that you send. Not a huge fan of third-party website mods, but do some research and see how it looks. I've got a Ford F-350. I don't know if you're talking about trucks or tractors or whatnot. I've got a Ford F-350 pickup and a Chevy Silverado. And then a fair bit of, actually a lot of mods for tractors and equipment and whatnot. I just don't run them on most playthroughs because game saves get too big. Used by the squad? Yeah. That sounds good then. I really got to wrap this up once I get this pickup there. Yeah, I got too many mods too. I just went through before my stream yesterday and cleaned out a bunch of them. Because when it gets to the point where you got like 15 different maps that you've got and you only play on 3 or 4 of them, it's no need to have it really. But every time a cool map comes out, I want to get it and save it for when I'm, if I want to start a new world or a new map, I just look around at the different ones I've got installed and see what I'm in the mood for, but I'm usually not in the mood for some of them, so they never get started. Yeah, that's my worry with mods. Sometimes they don't work or they crash your game. Especially from unstable mob site or mod sites. Sometimes they've got issues with them. Can't donate. Well, if you're talking money on the stream, I'm not monetized yet. But it's the thought that counts, I guess. I appreciate that. I think 500 subscribers is the magic number for monetization. I'm actually pretty close at 482, but not quite. Right, let's get this fent over to the field with the bales on it, and it'll just sit there. You've been subscribed since 290? Wow. That was a while ago. Been growing slow and steady for a good year and a half. Appreciate the support. Alright, I think that's where everything's going to be for the next time we start. Which again, maybe tomorrow, maybe later on. So, I'll go ahead and wrap things up. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Peace. And once again, that awkward moment where I can't actually stop streaming because I'm on a game. Thanks for chatting, Eric. Peace out. You have a good night, too.